Welcome to the Smorgasbord Podcast Episode 58, where we talk about a variety of different topics, uncensored, unedited, and unfiltered. God, that feels so weird to say that after such a long time. I'm back in this format. We have a lot to discuss. Last podcast episode I uploaded was 3 months ago, and while I've been back earlier than that, not in this specific format. We're gonna talk about all that. So, what happened between the time I started, from the time that episode happened to the time I started the new segment, Artist of the Day. For those that don't know, I started a new segment. Basically, so let me chronologically tell you what happened. Let's start from the beginning. I upload that episode. I plan to upload consistently because I was like, the goal before the 2-year mark of this podcast, which was back in March. So happy 2 years. Thank you for everybody. I'm sorry I missed that. Was the goal was to get to 100 episodes in 2 years. And I was like, okay, well, I can at least get to 60. So the plan was to get to 60 and then at least, and then be like, okay, we're going to push out the rest of this shit. But then school kept piling up, and I was about a month out, and I'm like, okay, well, I gotta upload and record something soon. I gotta record something. Then the most dandy thing happened. After 2 years, I finally caught COVID. I caught it in the most random way. Was it everything it was hyped up to be? No. But it was bad at the very beginning because it was the time where we didn't know it was coming. But when we found out, I already was pretty much over it, but I still had it like really badly. Like when you took the test, I didn't have to wait 15 minutes. It showed up I finished it, and then like 2 minutes in, the line was just black like that. So I guess I had it so much it said fuck 15 minutes. We're gonna give you probably 15 seconds. But yeah, no, I caught it randomly. I don't even know how I caught it because the only places I were at the time was at school and home. Because my internship had me go to the basketball games at the school. But other than that, I was at school at home. So I still don't know where I caught it from. But I caught it. It kicked my ass. It kicked in Saturday, like that Saturday. I got out the shower, and I remember going into the kitchen, and I just felt really, really lightheaded, and I checked my temperature. It was like light 99, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I feel like shit. I'm gonna go take a nap. Sleep this off, because this is usually what happens. I wake up. Apparently, in my sleep, I sweat out all the thing. I'll be fine. I wake up, go take a shower. I'll be fine. I literally get out the shower, because I'm thinking, okay, I could potentially go to the studio to work on music. I wake up and I'm like 101, and I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm getting out of bed. And my mom's out working on, she's at work or she's doing something, and I'm over there having like it kicks up to like 104, 105, and I'm in my bed like just hating life, and like if I blinked, the world spin. That was about as worse as it got. Was about that 2 or 3 days, and I tested for COVID on that Monday. No, on that Tuesday, excuse me, because I was out. I decided to stay home regardless on the Monday, and I was obviously felt like shit that Sunday after too. And then we tested, and I was like, oh, I got COVID. Okay, sick after 2 years, and me not being vaccinated, I finally caught it. Which I'm like, fucking how? But it's whatever. But my fever, despite me feeling better and better, my fever did not drop drop under 100 until like the next week. Like that Sunday, I think it finally got down to like 99.5, and I went to school with a 99 fever. So I tested again and I don't have it, but I still had the 99 fever. So I went to school actually still very, very, like still pretty sick. But that was because my mom made me. That wasn't my decision. But yeah, I had COVID, and that kicked my ass for about 2 weeks. And then that was when I was like, okay, let me just to make sure my lungs haven't collapsed under me, let me start working out again. And I feel fine. You know, my cardio doesn't feel off. My cardio didn't take a dip because immediately when I came back, the first day back, I literally played my tuba and I felt fine. One thing I will say, it did fuck up my hearing. Like, I couldn't hear out of one of my ears for about 2 days. Like, I was playing my tuba loud and I was like, this sounds awfully a lot quieter than it's supposed to be. And I'm playing this with all my air. So either I just turned shit and COVID took away my playing ability, or I just can't hear. So I plug one ear and I'm like, I only hear my lips vibrating. And I'm playing really, really loud right now. So I can't hear out this ear for like 2 days. And the other one was kind of clogged, but this one was clogged, like blocked. And I was like, well, shit. You know, I'm just going to go deaf now. This is what it is. I'm going to have to learn sign language. But good enough, it cleared up, and we're back to hearing things. My ear's kind of clogged now, but I think it's more because of allergies. Because I got really sick again from allergies this time. More recently, actually. But in that time of me being sick, I had a lot of free time to myself, a lot of time to reflect, you know, because I always think. And what I was thinking, and funny enough, in this sickness is when I believe I came up with the idea of doing Artist of the Day. If you haven't watched it, there's a playlist of every artist I reviewed. The most recent was J.D. Fuego, Justice Dawson. Go check that out. I came up with that idea because I was like, okay, I watch people on YouTube. I watch music reviewers like Sean C., Anthony Fantano, The Melon. And all of them, and I did want to kind of review music. I was like, you know, I would want to do that, but I want to make it unique. Like, everybody's gonna have an opinion on Donda, you know, Certified Lover Boy, you know, everybody's gonna have that opinion. So what would make mine different? And I thought, and I'm like, okay, well, there's a lot of this free music around. There's a lot of this underground music right now. There's a lot of this like niggas coming up that got a lot of talent. And though I'm not the biggest person, if someone put like an actual platform on that and they built off of that could take them to God knows where, you know. So my first idea was, and that's how I came up with reviewing Josie as the very first person, because I was like, you know what, she's talented. I haven't listened to her album. I listened to her new shit, and I know she's talented. I'm gonna review her. I did it, and it also kind of was a ploy to get in contact with more artists to work together, because I was like, well, I am new to this music thing, and like marketing was kind of always a thing I've always been good at. This was genuinely because I just wanted to review it, and I wanted to do something nice for like upcoming artists. That wasn't just a marketing scheme, but it turned into that. People start being like, oh, I'll work with you if you ever want me to, because there was a couple people I already had in mind, and once I did it, Josie sent me a list of people to review, like three more people I reviewed, and I've reviewed, by the time of this recording, I've reviewed 2 of them already. That was where Anna Shinholster came from, and Anna Grosh. By the way, Anna Grosh, if you see this, I'm so sorry for saying your name wrong for the entire, that fucking irks me, because I read the description of your Instagram after I recorded. Like, I said it's Anna, not Anna, and I said it wrong. So, disclaimer, I sincerely apologize. Oh, so I look like a fucking idiot. I don't read, but that's besides the point. That irks me. That really does irk me. I have no idea. Yeah, she sent me that list, and then one more person. The last person is Mason Embers, which I believe is next. I believe he's next. I'll look at my list again, but I reviewed JD Fuego. After I reviewed a couple of rappers, because I've been reviewing a bunch of singers, you know, and I wanted to review because I'm more rap than I am singing. And for me, I was like, I wanted to review rap too, because I judge it differently, but I enjoy it just in a different way. My monkey brain enjoys it at a different part. So after I reviewed Zero Vibes Cam, which was my homeboy I met in middle school, and I reviewed his stuff. I was like, okay, you know, this is pretty tight. And then, you know, people found out about it, and then of course, everybody was asking about, oh my God, review Justice Dawson. Because I'm like, bro, no, I don't want to fucking review Justice Dawson, because I'm going to hurt his feelings. And I don't know if he's seen the episode. I know he's seen the act of like my story when I added him, like, Artist of the Day, Justice JD Fuego. He liked it and he followed the podcast, which I do appreciate. But I don't know if he's seen the episode. I doubt he has, because I don't think he would have reposted me if he saw that I gave him a 1. Like, I doubt it. But he was one of those, because the reason I didn't want to review him was, to sum it all up, it was because of the fact that I have this platform and I wanted to reserve it for people who I thought had genuine talent, like, I'm not going to review the stereotypical SoundCloud rapper. Like, I'm not. And Justice, to me, felt like, it sounded like, and it was the epitome of the stereotypical SoundCloud rapper, of it not being good. There's a lot of niggas at my school that I could review, but they haven't reached that level yet, in my opinion, to review them. Like, in my, it sounds like they record out the broom closet. And I'm not throwing shade at them, it's just what it is. That, like, they haven't shown that level of seriousness. But everybody kept asking me, Justice. And I was like, and he then, at this point, God presented the opportunity. He drops his first full-length album. And I'm like, okay, well, fuck it, we're going to listen to it then. And then the review's up there if you want to watch it. If Justice sees this, I hope he actually, takes my criticisms into consideration. Because, like I said, end of the day, you can feel however the fuck you want. This is just my opinions. And I'm trying to speak on it as objectively as possible. So, like every single artist. Because I did Jacob, Mobley, too. Yeah, I did. I think it's about 6 people I've done. So there's a whole playlist. Go check that out. I came up with that segment. And the plan was to always record a podcast, like, in between that. But after the whole editing process of this whole, of the Artist of the Day shit, because I was trying to put it on Instagram and YouTube, like I do my podcast. But then it was like, oh, no, because Instagram wants to be a jackass, and, like, you can't play the music, even though you let the first debut episode of Josie run. Jacob just said, fuck you. And that was the one I actually had exclusive rights to, because he's my friend. So, I don't know. But YouTube fucks with me. Knock on wood. Please don't change that. So that one's only a YouTube exclusive. But with that being said, that's where it started, and now we're here. Now we're here recording the podcast. Back, episode 58. It is very interesting. A lot of stuff has happened in, like, personal life and all that stuff. The next big thing, as far as my music group, I probably should have started it off with this. So, I don't know, but I'm just going to say anyway. My group, the Balanced Ones, AMAC, Harper Lee, Joe, man like Joseph, have worked on and we've finished a new song. That's okay. You've probably, if you follow any of my Instagram or Snapchat, you have anything on any social media, you've seen me promoting this thing, even Facebook. April 13th, it comes out on all platforms, SoundCloud, Apple Music, Spotify, all that shit, everywhere. It comes out April 13th. Mark your calendars, share it. We want this thing to blow up because it's been actually 6 months since our last drop, because it was the creation of the band. Then a month to that day, there was Life of the Party, which, funny enough, Life of the Party hit 1,000 streams on SoundCloud. Thank you. That's nuts. That is nuts to think about. And the reputation has grown to, like, we're the best people who make music in our school, which I'm like, you know what? Thank you. And I do appreciate all y'all for that. And then I Got Time was obviously didn't do nowhere near as big in general, but still did pretty well. But this song, That's Okay, we put a lot of effort into. I think you all will really enjoy it. I think it will show how we've all gotten better. And I just think it'll be a fun song. From the few people who I've showed it to, they like it. So yeah, April 13th, it comes out. April 13th, it will come out. Mark down your calendars, share with everybody, when it drops, you obviously know. But for now, heads up, that's okay. New song coming out. Um, and I think you guys will really enjoy it. But yeah, let's see. Artist of the day. Um, that one's actually taken off a lot. That's actually helped the YouTube side of things. Funny enough, because I got majority of my views were off of Instagram. I would get like average 60, 70 views on Instagram. But on YouTube I would get like 1, 5, 10. And this actually artist of the day stuff has actually helped the YouTube side of things. And it actually has helped push this side too. So the more we do it, because the whole goal of this as well, on top of it, was to also kind of how like you look at generations of artists and they have like communities where like they have one producer that everybody knows. They all come up together and they all work together. Like you had 21 Savage come up with Metro Boomin, Chief Keef, all that stuff. Just a network. And I feel like this is a great way to network because I'm like, again, I could work with this with Zero Vibes. I could work with Jacob if he ever gets back into music because I think I'm pretty sure he's taking a break right now. Josie, we were in the workings of something. We just schedules haven't been lining up, but we're in the works of something. Anna Grosh and Anna Shinsolster, I extended my hand to them to work with. They said they're open. I don't know if their schedules work, but hey, if you guys ever want to work together, I'm just saying, just throwing it out there. And there's just a couple more people that are on my list that I feel like we could work together as well. But I do appreciate those people who are taking my criticisms. Everybody who's seen my criticisms, because I think everybody except Justice has texted me about what they watched, about what I said. And they've seen it, and they've taken my criticisms really well, and they've appreciated it. And so, as long as I'm doing them a good service and people are knowing them, because I believe, even though as big as some people were, like Anna Gross had like stupid numbers, like 1,700. I'm like, God damn, what? Like you getting? I got about $3.20 in the balance one's bank account right now. You getting at least 20. You getting at least 20. You getting money. Comparison to me, you getting money, nigga. Like we gotta divide the 320 into 4. I got 80 cents on that. And you get thousands, 1,200 street. Like obviously in the grand scheme, that's like nothing. But like for starting off, that's crazy. We got 1,050. I think as we speak on SoundCloud for Life of the Party. And I think as an overall collective, like overall including both songs on Spotify, we have 1,000. So like well over 2,000 people, almost 3,000 people have heard our music. And it's just, it's a very enjoyable experience. It's very interesting to see those things. I'm very into the analytics and stats. So we've only been doing this music thing for about 9. It's April 8th at the time of this recording. That's like 9 months. So because we started it. I want to say we started this in July. We started this group in July. That was when I posted I want to make music, and that was when Aretta hit me up that night. So I say the journey into music started that night. Like I posted it 5 minutes later, Aretta started and we wrote something. That was when I would say it started. So from July, July will make it a year. July will make it 1 year. So for us to be, in just 1 year to have, 3 songs coming out. April 13th will be the third. That's Okay will be the third song. And for us to get such a warm reception, and for us, because honestly, we could have came up with a lot more. I think, honestly, the hardest thing about it is literally getting everybody together, getting everybody's schedules to line up. That was it. Once we got in the studio, I don't think we ever really had a session where we didn't come up with anything or made any substantial progress. Like, we've obviously butted heads on a lot of shit. We've laughed over a lot of shit. And I think it's looking good though for our first year, kind of wrapping to a close. I do believe that is a lot of good progress made. And going into year two, understanding, learning a lot of lessons, meeting a lot of people, I think it definitely opens the doors. You're heading into, like, again, I'm still a junior, heading into my senior year, heading into the summer with a lot more free time, you know, with these people working on stuff, you know, because the definitely, any first personal goals for me for music, like coming up, like, yes, obviously keep the balance ones pushing thing. Like, I definitely always keep that pushing. We're gonna try to get this song that coming out like higher than any other song. Like we need, I want to try to get this thing on the radio. Um, I definitely want to work on a song for me, just so I can get like, okay, the profile, you know, Dark Side is on Spotify, so like it's just me or whatever, me rapping, whatever the fuck. Um, that's what I believe. I think that's a personal goal for me. That's not a group goal. That's just a goal for me personally. I want to work on that, and I can, and as long as I can just produce a beat that I'm just like, you know, whatever. And because I worked on my producing skills with Harper, I got to shout out Harper Monarch. You know, he's a godsend. Um, and he's helped me with that a lot too. And pretty, I've learned pretty interesting stuff. And I'm thinking about starting a new series about, you know, centered around the band. Wink, hint, hint. But I'm still thinking about it. If it comes out, it comes out. Nothing's been recorded yet, so I gotta just see if I could even do it. It's possible, but it's just like, would I really want to do that? Um, would it be not would I want to do that? Because it's something I do want to do. It's something that intrigues me. Is it something that the people would enjoy watching? You know, I would have to think about that, and that's just kind of my personal goals and all that stuff. And then I just need my senior year because it's shaping it. Because like my junior year, obviously, is mapping out to be my hardest year educationally wise. Because right now my grades aren't the best, but they're not horrible. But if I get through this year and then if I line everything up perfectly, senior year can be the year where I can start mapping stuff out for adulthood because we're obviously looking at that college is a big thing. And you're close to being an adult and being 17, you know, you're almost 18. So you kind of have to look at stuff different respectively. And I don't have my license to drive, and I've never had a job before. I've had my own business, balance positivity, you know. But besides that, I've never had an official job, and I don't know how to drive. Or let me phrase that. I know how to drive. You give me a car, you tell me to get to point A to point B, I can do that. I don't have my license. So, in a way, and I'm sure there's a lot of people who feel like this, in a way, in comparison to other people, I am very hopelessly behind. Because there are people who, you know, getting their own money in terms of actual job work experience. You know, my own business, I've been slacking on for a couple of years. For school and stuff, that's kind of slacking. But next year, it's looking like if I do it right, I could possibly have a half-day schedule, which means if I have my license or whatever, I can just dip out of school by like lunch and then either go spend more time on this or music. You know, just those things mapping out. So it's just mapping out the future for being able to do this, because the goal is to do this, do music, do this, do, you know, things that I actually enjoy, you know, to spend my life, you know, that puts food in my, that basically provides my living. My living is to do stuff what I enjoy. If I can do that, you know, music, the band, you know, my own personal business, which I do need to get back on, yes, the podcast, all that stuff. If I can get all that to grow, and you know, I just have to do this for my job for the rest of my life, I'm not entirely mad at it. And this obviously opens the door to many other things. So, you know, it's just setting that up and trying to understand that mindset of, yeah, I need to make it through this year, definitely. Once I get through this year, I'm like, okay, if I could get, you know, just get all my grades up to like, I'm like to A's and B's. I'm like, because right now I'm failing 3 classes, but all of them haven't put in updated grades yet. And I'm just like, okay, well, y'all, I'm gonna need y'all to do that. But I just need them. I need to, once we do that, once we get to the senior year, that's when I'm start have to buckle down on the real world shit. Like school, yes, is important, but at the end of the day, I'm like, I gotta start buckling down on the shit that I have to do in real life. Like that once I get my diploma, that doesn't end. Yeah, so it's kind of stresses out, but I'm not gonna freak myself out too much because I'm gonna take it one day at a time. Because right now the goal is obviously what's happening right now, and right now is all that matters. Because if I overlook this year, I'm not gonna make it to senior year on time. I'm not trying to go to summer school because I gotta take an online class. I want to take an online class to get math because I don't want to have math my senior year because I fucking can't stand math. I cannot stand math. I want to just be able to just do my schoolwork. Just that not be my issue. I want my issues to be the shit that's building me for the rest of life. I want music and the podcast to be like I'm more comfortable with those being my stressors than my school. Because it's like it's out, because in a way, as much as I can do, it is out of my control in a sense. This one, I'm like, okay, if I'm stressing out about this, I can turn on the camera, record, and upload and edit something. If I want to go to the studio while it's hard to get there, I can always write. Because I'm writing, almost every day. I'm working on stuff almost every day. So all that, if I can get my school to be so solid, I'm like, I need to, go do this, that, and the other. It's not really a fight, a debate, because it's like, well, I'm missing this project, I'm missing that, and this and that. So that's the goal for that one. As far as goals for this, though, because, I've done this for about 2 years, and I never thought I would get this much support or that kind of known for it. Because, like, wow, it is still very small. I never really do this for the numbers. I do it for whoever the hell watches. I just do it because I started it, and it's a great thing to do, and I just enjoy it. Hopefully, this blows up. And I remember 2 years ago, I sat in my kitchen and on a desktop with shitty lighting, no mic, and like hair to here. And now I have a backdrop, a mic, and an HP laptop, and a fucking ring light that I somewhat look professional on. So I do appreciate that, because that would have never happened. This was born out of a pandemic, music in a way kind of was born out of the pandemic. So I think the biggest thing it's provided was opportunity. The biggest thing all this time by myself and all this time, in isolation, has provided opportunity. And it's just about what you do with it. And I'm honestly just rambling now, but I'm happy to be back. I will say that. What in the world? Anyways, I will say I'm happy to be back, though. I will say that. But yeah, those are kind of just my goals personally. The pandemic definitely provided a lot of opportunity, and I think when it comes with the music and it comes with the band and this, I have a lot of good things going. I just gotta keep working, don't take it for granted, and we'll be good to go. Obviously, I gotta get back in the swing of the podcast stuff, because I was like, I let that slip from time to time, and I try not to do that. I try not to let things slip. Obviously, the summer, like, people who've been here for a while knew my schedule. It's really school, because they knew when my schedule was very open, and I recorded more consistently when it was like, okay, I have the summer, so I can upload 3 episodes. I can record 3 episodes in a session and just upload week, go. That's what I used to do. I used to be able to record. I used to record like 2 or 3 episodes. One with a guest, 1 or 2 with a guest, 1 with just me, and then just have them lined up to where I'd be like, all right, it's this week, upload, go, upload, go, upload, go. So I think once I get back, hunker down on that, it'll be good. What's anything else to do? Oh yeah, I'm working out again. I used to box, but my thing's been broken for God knows how long. I still haven't fixed it. We haven't really gotten around to it, but I've been going to the gym again, lifted. I didn't want to wait because of especially because of marching band, I'm funny enough, I had to do my So for marching band next year, there was sheets signing up for leadership, basic leader positions, like you're leader of a section, drum major, people who conduct, librarian, you handle the music, uniforms, this, that, and the other. And I, for shits and giggles, because I knew I was already a leader in the band because I was one of the senior marchers. I was already in a leadership position in a weird way, just unofficially, and I didn't have a section really to lead last year, so I didn't apply. Otherwise, I would have been in leadership already. And that's funny enough. I got the week I got COVID was the week of interviews, and I remember I was the last interview scheduled, and I got sick, and I had to email him and said, "Yo, Mr. Everhart, I got COVID. Can we slide this interview somewhere else because I'm sick?" And he's like, "Well, we could just do it online that Friday. You'll be the first and stay just really early." And then I was like, "All right, cool, got it." But that injury, because I don't know if I had to refresh my memory. But if I don't know if pretty sure I did because I uploaded around the time I injured I tore my muscle in my foot really, really badly in marching band camp this season, and I marched this whole year with a boot. And I believe I did mention this, but just for those who don't know, yeah, that happened. And I marched. There's photos of it, like, on my Instagram somewhere, where it's just me marching, and it's like you see me running with a 50-pound instrument on my shoulders, and I became a god amongst these band kids. Apparently, they were all like freaked out that I did it. But after that injury, it was like, okay, and then COVID hit, and I was like, all right, well, this is gonna be my last year. I'm in good shape now. I'm not obviously not the pinnacle athlete, but my endurance wasn't shit. I had good enough endurance to deal with marching band. Marching band never tired me out. I wasn't out of shape, but I wasn't active. Like basketball, I wasn't able to get any leagues, so I've been way more active than I was. And volleyball, and marching band season ended in November, and 9 times out of 10 I was sitting out because of, again, the fucked up foot. And my foot's about, I want to say 95, 100%, almost at 100%. I won't say it's at 100% entirely, just for the simple fact of it was a bad tear, and on top of that, it was like, okay, you also had a fractured foot, and my body heals pretty quickly, so it's like I'm definitely out the boot. I've been out the boot for almost 5-6 months, I want to say, because I got injured back in the summer, and I had it on like regularly because I was on a scooter, and then I went off the scooter and I was just on the boot, and I changed it to where I would have it off by the day, but anytime I needed to march, I had it on. Like, I remember specifically our last competition, they refused to let me warm up. Like, Everhart was like, nope, you stretch, because we need you for your best run for your last run, because this is our last competition. And I sure enough did it, and we did pretty well. So I think it's just getting that in shape. And also, I just want to shoot for to see what I would look like shredded. And I think just getting stronger, because I physically, as strong as I am, I can't do a push-up. So that's a big thing. So yeah, I've been going to the gym for about 3 weeks. Well, we were going consistently for 2 weeks. I took a week off, and I cannot remember why, but something happened. I think it was either I got sick that Wednesday, and then my mom wasn't feeling too well, so we didn't really get to, but I'm back on like a 3-day streak, and I've been, some muscle mass is showing. The outline for abs on this big stomach is showing now. I still weigh like 280, but I was never worried about the number. It was more about the physical physique. If I look good, if I, feel good, look good, I think I'll be fine, because my legs always been pretty strong. So if I can just get everything just tightened up, looking trim, looking good. Summer's going to help with that a lot. Because I'm going to get back to swimming. And most of my workouts have always been swimming. I always run through water to help with my legs. So that way, as big as I am, I can always be pretty fast and really swift. Working on, especially the leg, the foot, the bottom of my foot feels fine now that I'm putting more weight on it. And there's been a couple of like spring camps to get 8th graders to show up for marching band, to where I can I put the weight on and I feel fine. I don't feel too bad. So fingers crossed I don't get injured again. We should be in a good spot for me to just be like, I can just do it again. Yeah, just getting in shape, getting in shape, and I feel pretty good. I feel stronger-ish. I'm not really feeling it yet. Like, I'll probably feel it once I do it more consistently. Cause, funny enough, because the last time I really worked out before the first day, which was, I want to say 3 weeks ago, it was that summer right before my injury. You know, I was literally lifting. That was the first year I ever lifted. You know, I was talking about it back then too. I was like, I'm getting dropped off at Planet Fitness. I'm walking and running that way home, which is a 2 to 3 mile run up and down, mostly uphill, and then immediately going to boxing for an hour, 2 hours straight, and I did that daily. Or I did the boxing thing daily. I did the weightlifting every other day and all that stuff. And then I would come here and record. And that's when you saw me with the tank top off and stuff. And I always put the hoodie when I knew it was like, I'm not in shape anymore. So I put the hoodie. But I have to take a t-shirt on because I just finally did fucking laundry and need something to put on. But, yeah, I'm going to try to definitely turn it up when I'm going hard right now. And funny enough, my legs somehow didn't get any weaker. Like, I ended that summer leg pressing 290. And the first day I came in, I'm leg press 290 on the machine. Because I haven't done the free weight one. But I'm just doing the 290 one just with more and more reps. But, yeah, it's looking good. Just trying to get everything tightened up, everything in pristine condition to where I feel comfortable. The goal is to have my upper half so comfortable to where I can walk around shirtless in places other than a pool or a beach. That's the goal. And, you know, if I can do that, once I'm able to do that, I'm very content with my life. Like, I'm very, like, what, I'm very content. You know, but it is funny. I do want to see what I would look like shredded. That is funny because I'm fine with my legs. I'm fine with my arms ish. Now that I've been lifting, I'm like, we'll try to get them jacked just to see what it would look like. My shoulders, I'm fine with, but I know they're gonna get bigger, which is fine. I'm working on my back and all that stuff. It's really just my stomach and my chest. We get that tight, and I can walk around with a shirt off without judgment. We're good, man. We're good. But I mean, I'm pretty sure if it's too hot, I don't give a fuck. I'm taking my shirt off. If it gets too hot, like that skin cancer heat it was last year, which it will, because the ozone layer is failing, then I'm taking off my shirt. I don't give a shit if I'm at marching band or pool or not. Like, if I'm at marching band and that shit's baking and we're still outside, I'm taking my shirt off. But you're not supposed to do that. I don't give a fuck, Mr. Everhart. I'm sorry. I almost had a heat stroke my freshman year. I ain't dying for none of you again. Not again, bro. Not again. I ain't going back. I'm not doing it. I'll do it in a heartbeat. But yeah, those are kind of just the upcoming thoughts and kind of just the rundown to catch people up where what's been going on, because people don't really know where I've been, you know. But I am enjoying myself with all this stuff, and just hopefully I can get the ball rolling on a consistent schedule. You know, we're doing this for 2 years. It doesn't feel like 2 years. I look back at the first episode and I'm like, I'm reading off a paper because I wrote it. I scribbled down really quickly. I freestyled a freaking intro, and I was like, all right, welcome to the Smorgasbord. I got that shit, you know. My hair was shorter and all that stuff, and that was peak pandemic. That was when niggas wasn't going outside other than, like, me and, like, 2 other dummies when we were allowed to, you know. I had a plethora of people on there. Just looking back at all that, for 2 years, doing this for 2 years, it's weird because at that time really does fly. Especially that this second semester has flown by, definitely. The first semester I was bitching about how I don't know if I did, but I was bitching about how long it was because it felt like a whole year because of how much stuff was happening. You know, there was so many fights every day. There was a stabbing at our school. There was, you know, people were destroying the bathrooms. It was just such a crazy first semester. We were like, But the second semester, it's hard to believe it's April. It's April already, and it's May, and then we'll be done. So I really, this is the time to hunker down and make sure those grades are good, isn't it? But yeah, that's just the updates on stuff where I've been. My apologies for missing that long, for MIAing that long. But now with having the artist of the day, I won't be gone as much because I still want to do that as much. I was gonna change it to artist of the week, but I was like, nah, because I'm not gonna be able to promote them for a week. I'll be able to promote them for a day. It'll be an episode. I'll be like, hey, look, this artist of the day is this. Artist of the day is that. But as far as any other updates, I think that's everything. Just know April 13th. That's okay from the Balance Ones. The song that is made of the group that consists of me, Harper, Aretta, Joseph. Us four have come together to make this song. It's coming out April 13th. Wednesday, April 13th. Mark your calendars. It comes out. All platforms. Apple Music, Spotify, SoundCloud, all of it. Mark your calendars. Write that shit down. Put it in the calendar. Set a fucking alarm. Whatever you need to do it. It's going to be good. You guys will enjoy it. I assure you. That being said, stay safe, everybody. Love y'all. Bye-bye.